Oh boy, where do I even begin with this? So, last week, or a week before, I think it was last week or the week before. No, it was last week. Last week, Electronic Arts and many of the companies, many of the publishing companies were brought into British Parliament to discuss the issues of microtransactions and loot boxes. Okay? So, one of these chicks said that it is nothing more. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring it up right now. I'm actually going to read some of what this crap had said. I'm trying to find it real quick. Hold on. Anyways, so now this is actually coming from Digital Trend, and we were actually and the video that we were talking about was coming about the whole thing about EA's bullcrap that they said was coming from Young Ye. So this is coming from Digital Trend. Senior electronics executives said that loot boxes are surprise mechanics like Kinder eggs, and they are quite ethical and quite fun. Speaker before the UK Parliament's Digital Culture, Media and Sports Committee, EA Vice President and Legal and Government Affairs Kerry Hopkins wouldn't even use the term loot boxes when asked if they're ethical. We don't call them loot boxes. It's more like surprise mechanics. This is something people enjoy. They enjoy surprises, and so it's something that's been part of toys for years. Whether it's Kinder eggs or Hackimals or LOL surprises, we do think that the way we have implemented these kinds of mechanics is actually quite ethical and quite fun, enjoyable to people.
Mechanic, bro.
Yes, she refused to say loot boxes, dude. And for anyone who's been living under the peanut gallery, since 2015, since the original Star Wars Battlefront and leading into the new era of Electronic Arts, EA's been under investigation. They've been under attack by not just the gaming industry, but most of news outlets and pop culture in general, because of their practices with microtransactions and loot boxes, where they have put microtransactions and loot boxes in games that don't need it, and they have been on the fence in a sense where whenever there's a single player game that comes out, they're always like, oh, we're not gonna. They put this as PR on Twitter in a sense where, oh, don't worry guys, we're not gonna have any microtransactions or loot boxes. Like they praise this like this is like the invention of sliced bread. And so, and going further into what Digital Trend was talking about, loot boxes and other pay-to-win microtransactions are something of a sore point for gamers. For most gamers with loot boxes, you pay real money to buy buy boxes that contain randomized items. So you're not buying what's in the box. You're getting a chance to buy what's in that box. Like, case in point, if you were trying to buy, let's say, a Darth Vader or Darth Maul or Kylo Ren in Star Wars Battlefront 2, you're getting a chance to get them by spending real-life currency to get a chance to get them.
Bro, and just to play a single person.
Lottery,
single character.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes there's purely cosmetics like Overwatch, but in other games, these boxes give players a significant advantage. Some of these boxes are free to play. Some of the games are free to play, which regulates fear could hook in children and other vulnerable people would taste the gameplay before tempting them with pay-to-win loot boxes. British regulators are looking into whether loot boxes are a form of gambling and could join their Dutch and Belgian counterparts in establishing stricter rules or even banning loot boxes. U.S. Senator Josh Hawley introduced a bill in May, which we actually talked about 2 podcasts ago, that may ban the practice in games aimed at or played by kids under the age of 18. The Entertainment Software Association, a major video game lobby group, quickly came out against the bill. For EA, loot boxes are big business. The company said in 2017, the Ultimate Team mode in FIFA series, which allows you to buy better players or packs of random players, generated about 800 million in revenue. It makes sense that the company would want to protect such a big cash cow. And they said that we do agree with the UK Gambling Commission, the Australia Gambling Commission, and many other gambling commissions that they aren't gambling. And we also disagree that there's evidence that shows it leads to gambling, Hopkins said. Instead, we think it's like many other products that people enjoy in a healthy way and like the element of surprises. And that's pretty much to summarize what was said during that entire thing. I'm not going to say a damn thing because I'm going to let y'all take care of this. So y'all go ahead. Exile Oreo, you go ahead.
enjoy healthily. Imagine what's even the chance of getting like Kylo Ren or something, you know? Like say it's like you get a 10% chance. Like, wow, damn. Like, are you gonna say that's not a lottery move? Like, the 10% chance that you're not gonna win. And just like, and like after spending how much money? And okay, let me calm down. You spend so much money, and you're healthily enjoying these loot crates, and you're not getting what you want. That's healthy. Like, for real. That's a little ridiculous, bro.
You know where it's really broken? The loot boxes, like really broken. Power Rangers Legacy Wars. Whenever they introduce a new character, you have to spend like $30 worth of loot boxes just to get the new character, and that character is broken AF. Like level 1 Jason Gold Ranger has equal base stats as a level 7 Tommy White Ranger, and like that means you have to grind less just to get what's his name, Jason, to be better. And yeah, like that makes a huge difference between winning or losing.
Once again, I have to address this. This woman said that this is ethical and fun. Let that soak in for a minute. The vice president of Electronic Arts. Is this a vice president? Senior Electronic Arts executive said that loot boxes are surprise mechanics and are quite ethical and quite fun. Am I the only one that sees something that's wrong with this? She's a vice president of legal and government affairs. You are like, EA has been under the chopping block for a good year and a half, maybe 2 years now. Ever since everything that happened with Battlefront 2 actually came back to bite them in the ass, okay? And somehow, some way, they refuse to admit that they're wrong. I don't understand why. Because it's like, you are under scrutiny and you are under investigation. And you mean to tell me that you do not have the stones to admit that you're wrong? First of all, I don't know how I don't know how Kerry Hopkins can compare this to Kinder Eggs. First of all, I don't know too much. I've never owned a Kinder Egg, okay? Because it's supposed to be candy. It's like one of those
it's a chocolate ball on the
and it comes with a toy
eggshell, and then like on the inside there's a little plastic covering, and inside of that little capsule, like you put together like a miniature figurine.
Okay, but last time I checked, you didn't have to pay extra for that.
Exactly.
Loot boxes are a really great area. Like, as long as I approve loot boxes to some degree, if it's just like cosmetic stuff instead of like play to win sort of situation like it is with Legacy Wars, and even then with cosmetics, like I would very much prefer that like you have to be 18 or older to get to be able to purchase those cosmetics, because like, you know, to some degree this is still gambling, and you know, I think the universal age for gambling is 18. So like, teaching kids to gamble early is not really a good thing to do. Like, when they turn 18 and then choose to gamble, that's their business. But also everyone just needs to learn to do stuff in moderation. But that's the problem with gambling, because like because like the excitement of possibly winning something releases dopamine in your head and you get addicted to it.
Also, you said one thing that I don't think a lot of people don't understand, especially people who don't really read the ESRB. It's not really their fault because it's never addressed. You do realize that whenever you, and I think the entire gaming world needs to know this, just for the people who don't know, if you were to put real life gambling, like if you were actually using actual real life currency to pay for stuff, your game should be rated for adults only. They actually talk, and Young Ye actually discussed this in the middle of his video as well.
And it goes back to the 13-year-old who spent over $10,000 on microtransactions.
So there's a problem. So now we really have a paradigm shift in this situation, because if you were to tell me that if you were to use real life currency to pay for microtransactions and stuff, at that point your game is supposed to be rated A for adults only. So how, like, and again, I know that's something that is another can of worms for another day. But going back to what EA is saying, first of all, how is it surprise mechanics and how is it supposed to be ethical and fun when everyone in the entire Sun has had bad experiences with EA's microtransactions from the other developers that made games for them, like Titanfall, like Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, like Anthem, and every other game that they have released within the last couple of years. Everyone under the sun has said that their microtransaction system is broken. So again, how is it that it's ethical and fun, and yet people are upset about it?
And a surprise. How is it a surprise mechanic if it's like something? It's like, oh, it's an EA game. There's gonna be loot boxes. That's not a surprise anymore. And it's like pay to win. Like it's always gonna be pay to win because like, oh, get this super cool, amazing gold level 1. Like you said, Boku no gold level 1.
Like Gold Ranger, Zeo Gold Ranger level 1. It has equal base stats to Mighty Morphin White Ranger level 5. So like,
that's not a surprise mechanic. Everybody knows that gold character is worth buying for, or trying to buy for it, you know?
Yeah, and actually getting him, like, because of like how.
And you finally get it?
First of all, in order to unlock him, you have to unlock like 10 shards for the character.
And to get those shards, you have to pay for something.
Yeah, and you like, there's like 4 different loot boxes, and you have to buy the most expensive one in order to have a 5% chance of getting 1 shard. So you're spending upwards of $30 just to guarantee getting the character.
I'm looking at the Discord chat real quick. I got guys saying it goes back to the 13-year-old who spent over $10,000 on microtransactions. Exactly. Like, I really do not think that Kerry Hopkins understands what she said. I think I'm more baffled over the buffoonery that she had said. Like, I am like the unbridled audacity of this woman and the unbridled audacity of Electronic Arts saying that this is just surprise mechanics. No, it's not. It's not a surprise mechanic when you are having people pay money for these loot boxes. There's a reason why. Like, again, I have said this before. I have no problem with microtransactions and loot boxes if it does not affect the game. So if we're talking costumes and skins, that is fine. It's just how you operate them. That's what we have a problem with. And again, EA does not know how to do it. Okay, we're not talking about booster packs. We're not talking about skins or anything like that. We're talking about stuff that affects the game. And the article even said that FIFA, the whole My Ultimate Team, made over $800 million, and you randomly get better players. Okay, first of all, why should I use actual in-game real life currency to buy better players when these characters should already be balanced? That part I don't understand. And go ahead.
I just looked up gamble, definition, Webster's. One of the definitions: take risky action in the hope of a desired result. I want that gold level 1 fucking pink ranger.
Gold Ranger.
Level 1 gold ranger.
We get what you mean.
Gold pink. And you know what? I'm gonna take a risky action by spending my money in hopes of getting that desired result, the Gold Ranger.
I got some
And
more stuff.
I think that's what the court needs to do. Like, say exactly what I said. What is the definition of gamble? Can you read that to me, Hopkins? You know? Shit. So by definition, these little kids and adults are gambling. Well, yes, but this is a surprise mechanic.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at some dictionary definitions. Play games of chance for money or bet. Take risky action in the hopes of desired result. But ultimately, you know, as the famous writer Montaigne once said, if you're gonna argue with me, then you have to define all the terms. So you're right. We need to define what is gambling in the sense of like microtransactions, so we can see whether or not microtransactions would be considered gambling on a legal standpoint, and if it is, you know, what are we going to do about it in terms of promoting and censoring it?
I actually pulled up another article, and this is coming from Nintendo Life. The CEO of EA actually defends microtransactions and says it's actually possible to do it right. And I'm going to read a little bit of this. Andrew Wilson recently sat down for his first interview in a couple of years with GameDaily.biz to discuss the company's mistakes and accomplishments in recent times. He's been at EA, or he's been with EA for 19 years. Wilson defended the monetary and in-game system, explaining how 4 key vectors played a part in making it actually possible to properly implement microtransactions. Whether it's not, and this is what he's saying, whether it's not direct purchases or mystery box style, that's become commonly referred to as loot boxes. We really think about 4 key vectors: value, fairness, choice, and fun. We want to feel like we got a good deal. We've got some live services that are microtransactions, field of that have some of the highest sentiment and highest engagement in the industry. So it's actually possible to do it right. When asked about how the company planned to tackle countries taking a stand against the practice, Wilson said EA was taking the necessary steps to ease any concerns and would be transparent with its player base. Part of the improving the experience is helping engage parents so that they can have a better control over their children are playing. We are going to work harder on surfacing tools as the parents can actually feel more in control of their lives of their children. The reality is these tools exist inside PlayStation, Xbox, and Origins and other platforms today. They really do. What we're going to try to do is actually try to surface of that even more in our games, in the language in our games, in the communication around our games. Actually use our games to better surface some of those tools so that parents have better control over the digital lives of their children. Thoughts? Exile, go ahead.
Oh shit.
If this doesn't sound like the most PR BS that I have heard, I don't know. But Exile, you go ahead.
When you gotta pull some shit out your ass, you know, you do the best thing. You hire the best person, you know, and make it sound good.
Broken Kabuto, go ahead.
I really have no comment. Honestly, I have no comment. Like, just in general, like, I am getting really tired of like talks about like EA and microtransactions and stuff. And like my head just like hurts.
I am too, but the reason why I'm getting tired of it, like, dude, I am pretty sure everyone in the entire world, in the entire gaming industry, and in journalism, we're not journalists obviously because we're just 3 people with microphones talking about this, but obviously everyone in the entire gaming world, industry, communities, everywhere are so tired of EA just completely becoming the shell of their former selves. We're sick of it. It's like, dude, it is honestly like...
and that's kind of my point. Like how much more can we talk about this? Like and by which I mean, like this isn't on, like, especially with the microtransaction thing, this is something that's been ongoing with EA for the last, I don't know, 3 years, I'd say. And it's like, how long can we keep talking about literally the exact same topic?
Because EA is stop the cussing. I'm trying to stop cussing. EA is such a cesspool. That's why EA in the past. Let me put it like this: EA in the past few years have shut down some of their biggest studios. One of them being Visceral Games, the same guys who developed the entire Dead Space series. They've shut down other companies as of late, and I will actually pull this up, that have made top-notch games. And at this point, I'm pretty sure BioWare's next, because after what they did to BioWare and what they did to freaking Anthem, I won't be surprised if BioWare goes under because of EA. EA is legit the plague of the freaking gaming industry at this moment, because they will not own up to their mistakes and take their L and try to do better. I'm pretty sure that's what's pissing everyone off about EA. EA is just a bunch of conniving dicks, dude.
And I agree with you.
At
no point did I disagree with you. All I'm saying is just that we're just like repeating the same arguments we've been making the last 3 years about EA. And look, I get it. And look, I completely empathize with you because EA keeps making that same mistake. But also I just want some I want to hear something new about EA, them getting their heads out of their asses, or having some new strategy of them finally learning to not suck. And it's something that gives me a breath of fresh air. I need a breath of fresh air because I feel like I'm being suffocated by EA being stupid, which they are being stupid.
And they're so stupid, and everything's still working out for them because people keep buying their games. So they're just gonna keep being stupid.
And you know what? And you know what part of their stupidity suffocates me the most? The fact that they lack the self-awareness about how stupid they are. But that's the thing about being stupid. Stupid people don't know that they are stupid. I mean, at least people with cognitive retardation, much respect to you guys, at least they are aware that they have cognitive retardation, and they try their best to adapt to mainstream society, and I applaud those people for it. But stupid people, on the other hand, they have the cognitive capacity to be with the mainstream society. They choose not to use the entire capacity. And so, to quote a cognitively retarded person, stupid is what stupid does. And by that logic, EA is really stupid.
Because I think this is going to go into us trying to fix EA. Because at this point,
no, but that's the thing. They're like, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, and that's kind of my
to
point.
them. We're still making money, so we're not.
There's six.
And we're in trouble, but nothing's happening to us.
For anyone to improve anything, whether it's physically or mentally, it's a 6-stage process. And the first stage is acknowledging that some kind of change needs to be made. If EA doesn't acknowledge or reflect that there is some kind of change that they have to make, they will never even make they won't even make it past the planning stage on how to change, much less actually go through the steps of changing. So if anything, we need to figure out a way to make them realize this. And now I will address the actual consumers of EA products. Money speaks louder than words. If you want EA to improve, stop buying their merchandise. Their stocks will plummet more and more, and eventually they have to learn that the problem is not with the fans, but with themselves, and they have to.
Yeah, because I just realized, Boken, you just brought up something really interesting. Because I forgot about this. Didn't EA at one point blame the gaming community because they said they don't know what they want with EA?
Yes.
And I'm over here like, nigga, are you serious right now? Are you freaking serious right now?
Like all the videos, talk shows, podcasts, and all of that It's like, yeah, we just look at the numbers we get from the purchase.
Also, these are the same niggas who also said that no one plays single player games no more, and they pretty much said single player games are dead.
Honestly, I prefer single player games, or at the
that
very
allow
least,
you to
local
play
multiplayer.
offline.
I'm gonna say this one more time for the uninitiated, because I know, again, this is an entire, we're gonna roast the hell out of EA, I realize this, but keep in mind, once again, EA said that no one plays single player games anymore, that single player games are dead, and yet, last year, two of the biggest selling games that came out were God of War 4 and Spider-Man. And can we not forget about the fact that Final Fantasy 15, despite people's issues with that game, that came out back in 2017, was a hot-selling game. Kingdom Hearts 3, Resident Evil 2, these are games, yes, that are not under EA's banner, but these are some of the best-selling single-player games.
Single player.
And yet these dumb niggas said straight up, oh, single player games don't sell. Yes they do. Matter of fact, and I'm reading this from What Culture Gaming. EA blamed single player for $3.7 billion loss. Despite and this is like around the time where Battlefield 5 had came out. Despite the launch of a great battle royale shooter. Oh no, this is after Apex Legends had released. EA have had a pretty terrible week after reporting their earnings for the previous financial quarter, which we actually did talk about. Explain why their performance came in under projection. EA discussed that their new plan for Madden not appealing as broadly as they would have hoped, but one of the main culprits seemed to have been Battlefield 5. At launch back in November, there were reports that sales were down, but now we know that the publisher expected to have over $8 million copies within the expected to sell over $8 million copies, of which it only managed 7.3 million, which is still good, but still. What's more interesting, though, are the reasons EA gave for this underperformance. Taking aim at the game's story, CFO Blake Jurgensen, I don't care if I honestly don't give a damn if I butcher his name, Jurgensen, explained that the developer's focus shouldn't have been on single-player portion of the experience, but rather the Battle Royale mode, Firestorm, which had been delayed until March 2019. The lack of this mode, which in part made Call of Duty Black Ops 4 such a massive success, is apparently being viewed as Battlefield 5's biggest problem. This is bandied along the other excuses, including a poor start for the marketing campaign for the competitive fall window. But it's clear that the publisher still believes single player is actively harming their revenue. It's interesting that EA would put the blame on these elements rather than acknowledge the pushback the game received from the initial trailers, or the way the game has been supported post-launch, with DICE making controversial changes to entice new players, only to go back on a few weeks later when they didn't sit right within the hardcore. So yeah, they blamed it. EA has been open to blaming single player games for their loss of money. Once again,
this reminds me of?
Go ahead.
This kind of reminds me of how people are blaming Alita Battle Angel for
Captain Marvel not doing well
and Dark Phoenix losing money.
Okay, first of all, Dark Phoenix is a piece of trash movie, and anyone who defends it, you can catch the fade with me in the back of an alley on Psycho.
And like I said, like Captain Marvel losing money, like I can understand that because they were out at the same time, but you can't blame Alita for Dark Phoenix losing money because Alita's not even like screening at the same time. At this point, you're grasping at straws. Just admit that your movie sucked. And in the case of EA, admit that your game sucked. Don't blame this other genre for your inability to adapt to what the audience really wants.
Which is no
it's
DLC.
Consumer demand, basic economics. I'm not even an econ major and I know this.
I wish Jen was here because she's an econ and business law major. She would know how to tackle this. But honestly, gonna give my final thoughts about EA because I'm so sick of them. EA, we want to support you. We want to support your games. But when you do stupid stuff like this, it pisses people off. It pisses me off. It pisses the entire gaming community,
especially if you don't complete the game.
And not just that, but then when you straight up lie that you're not gonna put any microtransactions and that you listen to the people, that's what pisses us off even more. Because clearly, you do not care about who buys your stuff and your entire community. You don't. And if you do say it, you are a damn liar. You are a liar. You are a deceiver. You are the devil incarnate. And you need to be exercised. Whatever demons that you have in Electronic Arts, you niggas need to be exercised on point. We need to get a priest, a pastor, a minister, a rabbi, whoever a minister is in the Muslim faith. I don't know their names, so we need all of them, and we need to have them go to Electronic Arts headquarters and exercise the entire damn building, because clearly you do not care. You don't care, and it pisses me off, and it pisses everyone else off. I'm sick of it. I am sick and tired of the shenanigans over Electronic Arts, and I know that there's gonna be an EA defense force. There's gonna be like, oh, why don't you stop buying it? I'm not going to buy it. You want to know why? I have not bought an EA game. Yeah, I got Apex Legends, but that's because of the developers of Respawn. I will support Respawn because they make good games. It's the bastards over at EA, the publishers themselves, that I refuse to support until they get their crap right. I am sick of them. I am sick of Andrew Wilson. I am sick of that dumb idiot, that stupid baka, Kerry Hopkins. It's a surprise mechanics, ethical and fun. No, they're not. Especially when you're aiming at people to buy stuff with in-game, not in-game currency, but real life currency. Do you realize how deceiving that is?
After promising, we won't do microtransactions. Release the game, have people buy it. All right, let's do microtransactions.
And this is not just for EA. This is for other companies. Bethesda is under that. It's under my scope. Activision's just as guilty as they are. Capcom has gotten better, I fairly admit, because after the whole shenanigans with Street Fighter V and the in-game ads, they got it right, hopefully. I mean, Resident Evil 2, Devil May Cry 5, and Monster Hunter World are good examples. Just saying. But then you have people like 2K, who just recently put in-game ads in their games that you can't skip.
Wait, what?
Yeah, if you have 2K19, do not update, because then you're gonna have in-game ads.
And then I can't play online. That's what the people want to say.
Exactly. So, going back to EA.
In-game ads, bro.
In-game ads, bro. Remember how Street Fighter 5?
How does in-game ads work?
Sponsored by yada yada yada, pretty much.
Like it comes, like you finish a game and then like it's like a YouTube video. Like it pops up over. Is that how it works?
Essentially. Okay. Well, again, I
Bro,
don't know. We need to find someone who
Where'd you send it? Where'd you send it?
I'll send it to you later. I'll send it to you after the podcast.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Say 2K in-game ads. There you go. But EA, please. I am becoming Stephen A. Smith at this point. Okay. I'm just saying. Like I'm not just talking to you, EA. I'm also talking to God himself, the man upstairs, and I'm hoping he answers my prayers. Please, help me with Electronic Arts and their bullcrap microtransaction practices. Fire everyone, fire them all, please. Because we need a new regime. We need a new regime. Okay? Because if EA continues to do this, that bill, that senator in the U.S. right now, right here in our homes, in our soil, that he's trying to help get passed, it will not just target companies that do microtransactions. The one thing the United States government's been trying to do is get rid of video games for the longest, and we know it. We all know it. It's the reason the ESRB rating. The ESRB was a safety net, so that way the people like Jack Thompson wouldn't get to ban video games in America. This bill, if it gets passed, in order to stop EA from doing stuff that they could easily stop at any time soon, this bill could target games next. I'm done. I can't say anything else because I might lose my voice. Broken, do you have any final thoughts? And we'll actually talk about something positive.
Can we move on to the next subject before you get a hemorrhage?
Or a brain aneurysm? Yeah, I'm done. Exile.
Yeah, okay.
Final thoughts before we move on.
Wait, EA?
Yes, about EA.
Bye. Bye. I haven't played EA in I don't know how long. I haven't bought a single game.
The last EA game I remember getting was literally Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup for PC.
Oh my god! Wow. I think the last EA game I actually purchased was SSX, the newer one. That was really fun.
Man.
I actually still have it on PS3 as well. So,
Peckle is EA. I had Peckle before it was EA.
The funny thing is, I say all this, and I still might buy FIFA 2020 because I actually like soccer games.
Like that's like the only reason. Like,
no, and on top of that, real quick, I didn't mean to cut you off, Exile. But on top of that, you know what game that makes them bank that I think people should stop buying? Stop buying Madden. Stop buying Madden. Stop buying Madden. Stop buying Tiger Woods PGA Tour. Stop buying FIFA. Well, actually, no, keep buying FIFA because FIFA. But take out the stupid mechanics in FIFA. But stop buying Madden.
What stupid mechanics?
The loot boxes in FIFA.
Oh. I see how it's a surprise mechanic.
Because it's ethical and fun.
Speaking of football.
Hey there, enjoyed the video? If you did, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to hit the bell icon because YouTube's algorithm is still a straight dumpster fire. Now, if you want more information or any more updates on my new videos that are going to be coming out, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @TheReckless_Fox. And you can follow me on Twitch.tv/RecklessFox where I do all my live playthroughs and live reviews of television and movies with the rest of my friends. Speaking of which, if you want some more content, you want to scratch that itch and, fill that void and when I'm not doing any new videos, you can follow SoundCloud.com/ScrubClubGaming. That's SoundCloud.com/ScrubClubGaming, where episodes of the ScrubClub Podcast are now up, as well as new episodes of the Scrub Lounge. Till then, keep on working things $20 or less. Peace!